Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be running through a brief tutorial showing how you can take some text, have it rewritten for a social media platform and automatically posted to that social media platform. We're going to be using the Ayrshare API and the Bubble no-code system to build our app. Let's jump right in. Here, we see the Bubble app, and we've put a few controls on the screen that we're going to walk through. The first one is a text input where the user will enter their API key. The second one is another text input where the user will be able to enter some post text. This is the original post text that will get rewritten. There's a submit button, which is going to submit this to Ayrshare using an API call that we're going to set up. And then there's a list of radio buttons, which are dynamically created based on a custom state that we're going to populate. So the Ayrshare API call is going to return a few different rewrite options. We'll display it in these radio buttons. And then the last button will post that to Twitter. The API call will return a URL to the live post on Twitter, and we'll be able to click on that and launch it in a new browser window. Now, in this video, we're just posting to Twitter, but you could check out our other videos to see how you can post to multiple social networks all at once. We're going to set up the API calls using the Bubble API connector. So this is a free plugin that you install for your Bubble app, and you create an API by giving it a name, and we're going to make two calls, one for rewrite and one for posting to social. So let's look at how each one of these is set up. The rewrite call is a post call to the /API/generate/rewrite endpoint. There's two headers. One is the content type and one is the authorization with your API key. The body type is JSON with one parameter, which is the text that we want to send in, and that parameter is called post. Once you have all of that set up, remember to initialize the call, and let's look at the second API call that we have configured. The second API call is the posting to social, and this is a post call to the /API/post endpoint, same two headers, and here there's two parameters in the body. One is the post, which is the text that will be posted to Twitter, and one is platforms, which is the array of social networks that you want to post to. And in this case, the array will just have one element, which is Twitter. Let's go back to the app and let's wire it all up with a couple of workflows. We're going to need one workflow for each of the two buttons. So let's start with the submit button and see what kind of workflow we need. We need two steps. The first step calls that API endpoint that we just configured, sends in the API key and the text from that input box. And the second step takes the response from that first step and takes the rewrite value and populates it into the custom state for those radio buttons so we can display them all. Here we can see that the choices source is the custom state, which gets populated based on that API call. Let's move on to the second workflow with the second button, and that calls the post to social endpoint. It sends in the API key, the text that you want posted, and Twitter as the social network destination. And the second step takes the response from that first step, pulls out the post URL and populates it into the custom state for that link text element. And here we can see that the text and the destination URL for this link element is the post URL custom state, which is populated by that API call. Okay, great. Now that everything has been configured, let's go ahead and run the app and see it work. I'm going to click preview to run the app. We're going to take our API key, enter it into the first text box. Then we're going to put in some text that we just wrote, submit it. Now this is calling the Ayrshare API, sending in that text, and it's going to return a number of rewrite options. There's the rewrite options. Why don't we select the last one that says, in terms of social media value for our operation, Twitter is supreme. And we're going to take that and post it to Twitter, make that second API call. There's that URL that's returned. We can click on it, and there it is, the live post on the Twitter app. Thanks for checking out this video, and be sure to check out all the other great videos that Ayrshare offers, and best of luck on your social media journey.